This video is made for adult collectors because God, I hope they redo figures like Astro Train and Blitzwing next. You know how one of the famous like Master Wu quotes is never put off till tomorrow what can be done today? Yeah, I put this off, cleaning this up until like today, but I need the space to shoot this guy and I need to clean all of this up and I just went, I'll do it tomorrow. I should have done it yesterday. So we toss around the term mini masterpiece a lot when something feels like it's using MP engineering or is just complex yet smooth. We as a community toss it around a lot for other reasons, but those are the main reasons I see it used often. This though not only transforms like the masterpiece, but it has actual masterpiece sculpting in it. It's kind of funny, I'll talk about that in a bit. 86 Soundwave became a very highly anticipated thing for me once they showed it off, and this figure doesn't disappoint. Mostly. Ravage sucks. This was purchased at CMD store. Here's the box, not sponsored. I missed. There it is. And also here's the play icon on the back of the box. That's still funny to me how they forgot to like crop that out. He looks really nice. Again, this is the new 86 style of less greebles, but again, with figures like Megatron or even Blaster, it doesn't really stand out as different that much. I do like how colorful this is. I know a couple of people who aren't a huge fan of the shade of blue they used, and that's fine, but I personally really like it. And the head is crisp. Like super crisp. I love all the clean lines and how the red visor is. It's the perfect Soundwave head to me. He does have some chunky forearms. That's more to hide the large fists he has in them, but it does look a wee bit off in some angles. The thing I was talking about earlier though, where this has actual MP sculpting here, look at the thighs. You can see the sculpted bit where the Masterpiece's legs move around to tab into the sides, but this figure doesn't do it that way. It's really funny that it's there. Even the feet are very Masterpiece sculpt-like. The plastic feels nice. There are a couple of parts in like the leg panels that feel a wee bit thin, but the rest of the majority of it is fine. He does have quite the square backpack. It does stick out a little bit, but there is a reason for that in the transformation, and it's actually a very clever reason. I like it. He also has a pretty square ass. He comes with 3 cassettes, Laserbeak, Ravage, and Buzzsaw. Thank you. I'm so glad they threw Buzzsaw into this. I do like this Laserbeak mold. However, I wish the wings could like collapse in on themselves so they could sit a bit further forward and closer to the body, because these stick back and out a little bit further than I would like. The guns are detachable and they come disassembled, but they're pretty easy to build. Ravage though, oof. This guy is loose as hell here in the torso, and he's just a little bit fucky. Not to mention the tail parts forms and doesn't really have anywhere to go, but they all fit pretty well into his chest, and thankfully so do other cassettes from Blaster and stuff, and Blaster can even take 86 Soundwave's cassettes. That's cool. He comes with his gun, and I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of the orientation of the silver part. I wish it was vertical and not horizontal, but that's just me. I do like how articulated this thing is, though. They included butterfly joints, though they are a bit flat. And he can reach his own button, which is, you know, I feel like if Soundwave can't do that, then you've kind of failed at making a Soundwave, so he can do that. Yay. I really do like how Leader Class is just becoming the throw as much articulation as we can into the figure as possible size class now. This has a lot, and stuff like Concept Megatron has a lot, 86 Springer, Ape Link. I'm looking at my shelf, which is over there, and just reading off the most recent ones. They have a lot of articulation to them, and this is no exception to that. It is awesome. So to start with, the head is on a ball joint. You get a little bit of tilt, which is it's enough to be nice, but I wish it was a tiny bit more. However, he can look up that far. He can't really look down that much. And then you get a full 360-degree spin. This gun here can rotate on the shoulder as well as straight up just come off if you want. The shoulders can do a full 360 degrees. They can go out that far, which is actually higher than 90 degrees. Then you have that butterfly joint. And then because of transformation, you have that extra hinge, so you can like really get the arms forward if you want to, which I think is neat. You do have a bicep rotation, which on my copy is a little stiff. It ends up moving the arm more than the bicep joint. You get a double jointed elbow, wrist rotation, and hinged fingers that can open and close. I love this. I'm glad more figures are coming with that. This grip seems to be better than 86 Megatron's grip, because if we take his gun here, for example, and plug it into his hand, he actually has a grip on it. An 86 Megatron and then subsequently 86 Prime's hand doesn't like to hold the guns very well, so like I'm glad they went with this solution here. He does have a waist joint. The hip skirts can move forward and the back skirt can move out of the way, so the legs can go forward a full 90, they can go back a full 90, they can go out more than a full 90. You have thigh rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the knee. Then the ankles, they don't go down, but they do go up. You have ankle rotation and an ankle pivot. One thing I don't like though is these. So for transformation, right, I'm gonna open this up. You have to push them in to get this to sit flat, which I think is really clever. However, they don't lock in when you push them out. So I find myself every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I want to bend the knee, and then you accidentally push it in, and then you have to come back here, undo all of this just to push it out again. I wish they clicked into place. It's a tiny bit annoying. But other than that, I think this thing poses great. I quite dig this thing. It's very nice and very fun to mess with. It's too high. There we go. It is very cool and very fun to mess with. Yeah, I quite dig this robot mode. It's a lot of fun and looks great. I'm very happy they went new mold for the 86 one, and this makes me hopeful that Blitzwing, Shockwave, and Astro Train are going to be new molds. The transformation, again, is very masterpiece in terms of how it handles some of the panels. It's a lot of fun. Just an FYI, if you hear any distant thumping, that's the neighbor scraping the ice off of their porch in their backyard because, you know, everything's frozen right now. I live in Canada. So Soundwave's transformation is very traditional Soundwave in how, like, where the limbs end up and whatnot, but it feels more on the Masterpiece side and less on the Earthrise / Netflix side. Like, they both have the limbs end up in the same places, but the way that it gets there is kind of neat and feels more like the MP. And I like the Masterpiece, save for its hips. Thankfully, this doesn't do the stupid hip thing. So to start with, we are going to take the gun off his shoulder. It's going to fly off, I guess. Fold up the fists, and then you're going to open this panel up, rotate the fist in and close it. I really like this solution to getting the fists away, the sort of like laser prime type thing, and I really wish more figures did that, especially at the smaller scale. But once you get that done, you want to take the arms and just bring them back and out like that. Rotate the waist 180 degrees. Then we are going to fold up the crotch flap and open these panels out here. If I can get my finger in there. There we are. Now the legs. So we're going to take this panel at the bottom of the feet, fold it out, then rotate the feet 180 degrees, open this panel at the top of the leg, and then open this panel at the bulk of the leg. Then you want to fold the foot in, and then fold this panel back into place. There are the fake volume like knob and on-off switch that then get hidden, because you fold the legs this way, you bring this section up, you fold it over, and it's going to peg into the side like that, on either side. Get that in. Then you fold this crotch flap down, you compress these sections in, and he's poothing. Look at that. That's a funny reference. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open these back panels up, get them out of the way, and open this head section up. Now the head does click into place. It is very weird to get it clicked into place. I find it's best to hold it like this and push, but it does click into place. So you open this section up, we're going to fold the head in, and then we're going to take the guns. Now, this is interesting. There are these little things right here, right, that are going to tab into these tabs on either side of these flaps. But the guns have to be in a very specific orientation because these are not centered to the peg, right? I don't know if you can see that, but they're sitting a little lower. So for this gun, right, the one that's got the little silver bit, it's got to face down, and then you plug it in down. This one, I believe it is this way. You got to plug it in, and then you plug the head back into place, fold this up, and it will just sort of peg over top of those guns there. But they have to be in those orientations, otherwise these won't fit and this whole thing won't sit flush. Once you have that done, you peg the arms into the back of the legs, and there you have Soundwave in his tape recorder mode with a headphone jack. My phone doesn't have one of those anymore. Yeah, cassette recorder. A thick one, but a super clean one from the front. From the back, it is pretty MP, but I love how it does the guns. Unlike the Earthrise one where they just hang off each leg, these ones tuck in behind those like backpack panels that hide away. It's really clean. This does mean the backpack is a bit bigger and thicker on the robot mode, but like I do like this solution a lot for hiding the guns away, that I'm okay with the slightly chunkier backpack. I do find it funny that even like the Masterpiece, there is this gap at the bottom back section here by the fake play buttons. I do kind of miss the on-off switch and the volume wheel on the sides. They are present in the robot mode, but they hide them away for this, and I kind of like them on either side. It is pretty dense and solid. It's a nice brick, and again, from the front, everything sits pretty damn flush. I very much enjoy this thing. It's super fun and clean. I love how the transformation works, and it's just fun to flip back and forth at my desk. Not to mention the cassettes he comes with, minus Ravage. I'm disappointed Ravage ended up this way, but I do have the Siege one lying around, so I'll probably just swap them out. I definitely recommend this though. It's a super solid and cool Soundwave. But that's my look at Studio Series 86 Soundwave. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.